Welcome to another episode of Mildly Informed with me, Richie Firth, and him, Chris Skinner, and our aim is to review our weeks and whilst we do that, hopefully leave you mildly informed. Christopher, how are you?
I'm much better than I was on our last record, where I was at times incomprehensibly mad and have been described by one listener as giggling like a schoolgirl.
That's never a bad thing, though.
No, and I actually was like, why do schoolgirls have to have the monopoly on fun? Like, I was making the most of a complicated week, and things are better today.
Good news.
Enough about me, though, Rich. I would like to ask how you are, particularly given that whilst people might be consuming this episode at the normal time of day, we are not recording when we normally do.
No, we're not. No, we are recording later in the evening. Normally, it's a leisurely Friday morning record, but this is not. This is an evening record, and I'm frazzled. So maybe I will be the giggling schoolgirl like you were last week.
I can't wait. I cannot wait.
Mildly informed pod at gmail.com is how to email us, or you can interact on our various socials, Richie Firth or Producer Chris, or indeed in the comments on our YouTube channel or any of the little mini TikToks that you will see go up.
And I think in the Patreon episode that we're going to record after this, I'm going to say it now, it's going to be the best episode we've ever done. I am ready. I have got some stuff for you, Rich, and it is probably the most important conversation anyone will hear this year.
Well, there's a reason to become a Patreon, if ever I've heard one. Mildly Informed Pod is what you need to search.
Rich, I would love you now to move this conversation on and tell me something about the week that you have had.
Christopher, let's talk about weddings. I went to a wedding in the last 7 days for very good friends of ours, Chloe and Jonathan, who have got married.
Congratulations.
Congratulations to them indeed. But I'd like to review non-Saturday weddings.
So Chloe and John, you just went to their wedding.
Mm-hmm.
And within 7 days of going to their wedding, you're going to review their wedding?
Not their wedding specifically. I'm going to review non-Saturday weddings.
What day of the week was their wedding, Rich?
Sunday.
Oh, I wasn't expecting that. A Sunday wedding.
A Sunday wedding. I've been to other weddings, many on a Saturday.
Yeah,
including two of my own. However, this was the first I'd ever been to on a Sunday. And Chris, do you know what? I'm going to give it straight away, and then we'll get into some of the details. 5 stars.
Oh, well, I'm surprised. I guess the fact is that you probably like these guys, so that's going to help. My gut, Rich, would have been, no, can't be doing that. Like, Monday's a busy, stressful day, so why are you ruining my Sunday and my Monday?
Mondays are busy and stressful days. You're quite right. But what's better to start the week with than a shot in the arm of happiness and alcohol than a Sunday wedding? Dancing on the dance floor to all of the big wedding hits until midnight on Sunday, but then yet still going to work on the Monday, still feeling somewhat giddy and a little bit confused that you're actually in a workplace, but having had been to a wedding the night before.
Did it genuinely feel like a jolly? Did you guys genuinely get on it and have a proper boogie?
Yes, because the trick comes when it crosses from Sunday into Monday. Because while you're at the wedding, and you're watching the ceremony and you're seeing love take place, and then you're having great food and enjoying speeches, and then you're dancing, and all of the things that you normally enjoy with a wedding, your brain says to you, what a great Saturday I'm having at this wedding. Then the wedding finishes, you go to bed, and you wake up in the morning and you think, that was a great day yesterday. Right, let's crack on with my Sunday. Hell no, it's Monday. and you're straight into the week, but you've got those happy vibes, and the great day you've had is fresh in your mind, and it almost gives you sort of like an inoculation against the turgid Monday that you'd normally have.
I mean, I hear that. That's really interesting. And I have to say, I love a Sunday daytime drink. So not exactly the same as what you're talking about here. I love the idea of a few pints, maybe one or two more than that, in the pub on a Sunday lunchtime. But like 5 o'clock onwards, nothing. Like, and you wake up on the Monday and everything is fine. I like that kind of cheeky indulgence of a Sunday. But when I do that, Rich, I know that we are not standing on the tables, jumping up and down, singing songs. Are you, for example, at your Sunday wedding, are there ties being tied around the head like Rambo as people hit the dance floor?
The jacket was off. The jacket was
Oh,
off. I saw people falling over on the dance floor. They're all in the
oh,
same situation. I'll put it to you like this, all right? Let's talk about other weddings. And I'm not specifically talking about Chloe and Jonathan's. Let's talk about other weddings. Let's talk about weddings that I've been to on Saturday. Now, I'm not going to name any in particular, but I've been to some weddings on a Saturday where, oh my God, I just like end this right now. This is a horrendous day, and it's
the
ruined
wedding or the
my.
marriage?
No, the wedding itself.
Whose
Um,
wedding was this?
I've said I'm not naming any of these particular
Go,
people. I
whisper.
have. No, I've been to Saturday weddings that have been awful, that I've resented because there's sports matches that are going on that have
Oh,
ridded
yeah.
me of a Saturday. And then the next day, the hangover day, is a Sunday, and your body's going, well, don't do too much today because it's Sunday, because you then got Monday. And a Saturday wedding can ruin a weekend. I put it to you that honestly, the way forward is Sunday weddings, because you still get the chance to have a good old knees up on your normal life on a Saturday.
What about for people who aren't based locally?
You can't please everyone in life. And people who aren't based locally, I'm sure, will find that they're actually getting some very agreeable rates on a local Premier Inn, because normally people are going home on a Sunday. They're not necessarily staying with Lenny Henry on a Sunday night. Everything, Chris, is stacked in the favour of a Sunday wedding. 5 stars.
Okay, so it's 5 stars for the experience. It's
Mhm.
5 stars because this could be a way of driving profits for the Lenny Henry Premier Inn Corporation.
I tell you what, it also does. It's 5 stars for people who still want to get married on a Saturday. Because if more people get married on a Sunday, then Saturday weddings will become cheaper because there'll be less of a premium on them. Everybody wins.
Let the market decide.
Exactly. And all the best to Chloe and Jonathan. And what a day it was.
Many happy returns. Congratulations on your Sunday wedding. May the deal you got add up to the value that you have as a couple together.
Christopher, what's on your mind this week?
Rich, it's quite a warm week. Bit grey, but the temperatures are up.
They are.
In my office, things get pretty warm. I think people who are in employment up and down the country will be facing up to the fact that they have to think about their temperature whilst they're trying to get their job done. So I want to talk to you about wearing shorts in the office. Rich, I'm gonna set this up now. There are two sides to this story. There are two clear sides to the story. I can recall when you and I were colleagues together.
Mhm.
I recall you thinking very dimly on this subject and you not being into this as a thing. I do sometimes wear shorts to work. I wear shorts to work more now than I ever have done. And I feel really good about that. And then I have to deal with other people wearing shorts in the office. And I'm like, no, it's not acceptable. It's unprofessional. It's crap. And
There's the
then the
rub.
next day I go to work in a pair of trousers or jeans and I'm like, well, this is crap as well. This is nonsense. And there's not a halfway house. There's not 3/4. I'm not wearing 3/4 length trousers to work. I'm torn, Rich. wearing shorts to work in the summer is 100% the most comfortable way to get through a hot summer's day, especially when you aren't in an air-conned office. But you just don't look very professional. And I don't know what to do about that. I don't know how to square this circle.
Here's the problem, and this is because you and I are talking. We have an international audience, and we're very thankful for that. But you and I are speaking from London. We are speaking here from the UK, and we are not geared up for the humid weather and the humid summers that we are beginning to get, thanks to the melting of the global ice caps and such like. But let's not get into that right now, because I think that would be a 1-star review for global warming. However, if you are other places in the world, you can have a really, really hot day and you can go to work and you've got an air conditioned office and you can wear your long trousers and you can have that professional outlook that comes from being trousers up 365 days of the year. There is no doubt that wearing shorts does give you straight off the look of a casual attitude. But I think in 2025, the way things have gone with hybrid working and the amount of time that people are in the office and aren't in the office, I think wearing shorts is the last thing that people need to worry about. Because if you're talking about casual attitude, tell that to the people that are on video calls with their camera off because they're doing all sorts of other things and
Not in
aren't
my
really
team.
working. I wish I was part of your team.
Mate, I would love you to become part of my team. But I just don't. I just don't think I can be taken seriously when trying to talk to our lawyers at work whilst I'm wearing shorts. I don't think they should take me seriously because I just look like a hairy man boy. And yet I also feel much happier having those conversations not in a pair of thick trousers.
There is a halfway house.
Hit me.
Cricket whites. You and I play and love the sport of cricket.
Yep.
Okay, but cricket whites are a very, very thin and light flannel kind of
So like linen trousers.
linen trousers. Okay, some of them even do have a crease down the front of them. They can look smart. I think if workplaces were to allow people to wear cricket whites, a smartly dressed Test cricketer in their whites, that's a serious conversation there. How about that for work attire?
I mean, I think it's mad. I think it's absolutely batshit and completely unacceptable to turn up to work dressed in sports clothes. But the linen trousers, Rich, I've never seen myself as a linen guy. I am not the man from Del Monte. I do not have a membership of the MCC. But maybe that is the solution.
It is the solution. I was never a linen trousers guy until I went on a cruise. And linen trousers were the way forward because you're out in the med. It's hot. But if you're going to sit on the captain's table, you can't sit there in shorts. Linen trousers with a halfway house. You can look serious in linen trousers. A lot of
Now,
gentlemen in the city these days don't even wear socks. Go with it.
right, so linen trousers with or without socks. I don't understand that point.
I think these days you see gentlemen with suits without socks. So I think
Okay.
linen trousers without socks, that's fine.
Sorry, we're not going to be able to carry on this conversation because I can't get this out of my head. I know nothing about cruise culture. What's the deal with the captain's table? Do you really go for dinner with the captain?
You can be invited to sit at the captain's table, yes.
Were you invited to the captain's table?
Well, as such, no, because I was on a Disney cruise and the captain
Was Mickey Mouse?
I think the ship that we were on was actually affiliated to Donald Duck. So, strictly speaking,
What?
it would be sitting with him.
Wow. I don't know what to make of that. The idea of you on the captain's table whilst the captain is dressed as ironically, a duck that doesn't wear trousers.
No, nobody is dressed as a duck. The captain is Donald
A duck.
Yeah.
It is Donald Duck.
Yeah, Donald Duck is the thing. I immerse myself into the Disney culture, Chris.
But he's still not wearing trousers, right?
I'll have to study Donald's apparel again soon because I can't remember whether he wears trousers.
Donald Duck wears a blue jacket and no trousers. So the irony that you feel that the only way you're comfortable being sat at the captain's table is in a pair of trousers that not even the captain is wearing.
Oh dear.
All right, I'm going to give a couple of reviews here. And that's without even considering maybe I should just wear a vest instead of shorts. 3 stars to Shorts in the Office. It's the only fair way to do it.
3 stars, Shorts in the Office. I can get on board with that, but let's nip Vests in the Office straight away. None of us are Onslow out of keeping up appearances.
I'm going to give Linen Suits 3 stars, but I'm going to give Going to Work Dressed as a Pantless Duck 5 stars. Rich, let's take a break.
I enjoyed that break, Chris. It's good to be back.
It was one of the best.
Thank you.
Rich, I would love to know something that's happened to you this week that was better or as good as the wedding. Have you got anything?
I have indeed. I'm a big fan of the TV show that I'm about to review, and I didn't know that the 4th season had dropped. So when I started to see articles about the 4th series of Clarkson's Farm, I went into such a tiz because I was like, how on earth have I missed that this is on? I don't get to binge watch much, but that is a show that I do binge. And it's just incredible. I know Jeremy Clarkson is Marmite at the very easiest for many people, but that show is such a good watch. I love Clarkson's Farm. Hour-long episodes. For those of you who don't know the premise of the show, it is kind of like Ron Seal. Jeremy Clarkson has bought and owns a farm that he runs properly. It's in the Cotswolds. And just because he's Jeremy Clarkson, he doesn't have it any easier than many others of the farmers that are out there. And it's heartwarming TV. It's funny TV, but it's also like really eye-opening for how hard farming is, an education of how food gets from the field to your plate, whether that is something that was once an animal and you're then eating it, or whether it is something that is wheat-based and is a crop. It's a struggle. And it's been a real education for me. So, how something balances being an education, but being a fun, but also serious and at times emotional watch is why for me it's one of the greatest shows that you can find. I love it.
I've never seen a single minute of it. I come into the show with some of the prejudices you highlight. Like we get on, yeah. I think we've got a lot of similar interests in the world. I think one place that we don't cross over, as any historic listeners to Travel Hacker will know, is an interest in cars. I know nothing about cars and have no interest in car chat whatsoever. I couldn't tell you a Datsun from a Matsui, and I don't even know if either of those are cars. Thinking about it.
A Datsun was a car and a Matsui was a hi-fi system. So I mean, you've kind of really described things pretty well there.
Wrong.
However, there's no car chat in Clarkson's Farm. Yes,
I know.
Everyone knows Jeremy Clarkson for Top Gear and being a motoring journalist, but that's not what that show's about.
I hear what you're saying. I just found him like, oh, here's this sort of pompous blowhard going on about talk, and I just was like, I'm out. I will say, however, I think he's a decent enough host of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. I have tolerated him do a few episodes of that. So maybe I should give it a go, but life is so short. I do like stories around agriculture and food. That's quite
This
boring,
is
I know, the moment I said it, but
no, it's not because I would see you as someone who would quite happily own an allotment. And what is an
I do
allotment?
have an allotment.
Oh, well, there you go then. I profiled you correct. If you have an allotment, which is basically a very small farm, it's a
It's
micro
a tiny
farm,
farm.
it's a tiny farm, then you will love, honestly, honestly, try it for me.
Okay.
Try it for me because I'm giving it a 5-star review. And you know, I don't hand out 5-star reviews willy nilly. Although,
So
actually, I gave 5-star review to a Sunday wedding. So,
you've literally just done nothing but 5-star reviews today.
if willy nilly, yeah.
Okay, I will watch an episode in the next week.
I bet you won't be able to leave it at just one. And start from the beginning. If you're going to do it, start from the beginning.
No, I thought I'd just tune into like season 3, episode 6.
It's the kind of thing that you probably would do. Clarkson's Farm, 5 stars. Chris,
Noted.
what else is on your mind?
It's hard to frame exactly what this is, but I think people will get it. You've bought food from a food stall before, from a food market, from a van at a festival or an event. You know the process. It's different to going to a sandwich shop. It's different to going to an Itsu or a Pret. There's something more folksy, something more real, something uh, a bit more random about it as an experience. That's fair to say.
Yes.
I think it's the only place in life where I flirt. And I realize that I flirt because I have this subconsciously, I think I have for several years now, flirted with the guys and girls of food vans up and down the country because I've had the theory that the nicer I am, the more food they will give me, like I'm some kind of hungry dog. And it came to my realization, I've done that a lot this week, and the guys, chicken boys, as we call them, near my office, who have a lovely chicken van, did give me more food, and over the months have given me more food when I've turned up with my kids. They've even served me more food when I've turned up with my dog. It works, but it's also super desperate and sad. And I reckon now there's people now who are gonna all of a sudden be realizing for the first time that they talk to a guy or a girl on a food stall completely different to how they talk to someone in McDonald's or Pret a Manger.
I will hold my hand up and say that many, many, many years ago, there used to be um, a branch of Eat, a fast food kind of like sandwich based operation in the UK. There used to be a branch near where I worked, and there was a lady from some kind of country that you might find around about the Eastern Europe area of the globe.
As Paul Merson would say, you're talking about your Polands, your Romanias, your Bulgarias,
Your Czechoslovakias, your Czechia,
Czechoslovakias.
your Czechias, as you call
Yep.
it now. Yes, very much so. That's where she was from. And I used to go in pretty much every day and get a cheese and toasted cheese and tuna mayo, sort of like panini.
Yes.
But sometimes she would offer me a free latte that went with it,
Just randomly.
just randomly. And I swear that was because I engaged her in chat.
You were nice.
I was nice, exactly.
Oh.
And I was only doing that because I could see that I saw in her eyes, she smiled at me, unlike how she smiled at various other people. To other people in the queue, there was a death behind her eyes.
Mm.
But when it was me with my tuna toasty, came alive. And if you engage in that, that's where I was getting the free lattes.
Well, that's really interesting. I have been a customer of a salad bar called Attis for a while, which I know I've taken you to before.
Mm,
And I remember you got into a right old tiz about whether you should try their chicken Caesar or not.
it was good
And yeah, it was good. It was good. And
after much deliberation.
yes, I've got to a level with them where I'm really chummy with them now. Yeah. And still not a hint of extra chicken, not a hint of a discount or of a drink. And I am as nice to them as I am to the guys on the market stall who look after me good. And I think there is a difference.
Do you? Would you be up for an experiment
Yes.
at your salad place? Are there any people from your Eastern European area of your globe? Your Polands, your Czechias, your Romanians.
I think they are the guy who I'm palliest with, I think is South
Ah,
American.
that ain't gonna work.
Okay, carry on.
That's not
Look,
gonna
mate,
work.
I'm prepared to flirt gay if it gets me chicken.
I was going to offer and to come and get a salad and see whether I got extra chicken compared to you with mine because I know my system has got me free lattes before.
Right, but you're not prepared to flirt with the same guys that I am.
You just don't know where it might lead.
No, no. And I hope it would lead to more chicken. But everything's on the table, I guess.
Well, not everything.
I don't know. I mean, a deal's a deal.
Are they serving tongs or are you pleased to see me?
How do you know I stole their serving tongs?
Why'd you keep it there?
I'm going to give market stalls that give people extra food 5 stars.
Okay.
But that's not really what I'm here to review. I'm here to review desperate people like me who flutter their eyelids at people on these market stalls because they want extra grub. It's pathetic. It's pathetic. 2 stars.
Have you ever fluttered for extra chicken in front of your wife?
Almost certainly. I'd have to ask her. Honestly, she knows I love her. I would share the chicken, so to speak.
Christopher, I think it would be a very inopportune time to take a break, but we shall.
Good break.
Welcome back.
Rich, before we go and do the best ever Patreon that we've ever done, I think you've got time to tell me one more thing.
Chris, where do hotels get their TVs from? Because they're bollocks.
Where do hotels get their TV from?
Yes.
That's your question.
I've never been to a hotel that has a decent TV. Okay, if I come home and turn on my TV with my remote control, it turns on immediately, and straight away my TV turns on to the channel that I was last watching. If you go to a hotel, you turn on your TV. First of all, no guarantee that the remote is going to work, first of all, straight away, because it's probably got congealed tea in it or something or other. And then, secondly, when you do eventually get it to turn on, it will land on some crappy hosting page that will have like elevator music with the time of day and the number to call reception and all that kind of stuff. And
Photograph of the conference suite.
Photograph of the conference suite, all that kind of stuff. And you have to navigate how you get out of this bollocks host screen of the TV to actually get to BBC One to watch the One Show or something or other. I don't need to have that, hotels. If I turn on your TV, I just want to watch TV. If I want to know how to access the night porter or to operate the Corby trouser press, then I'll look in a pamphlet, probably in the drawer with the Gideon's Bible. But I don't need your overcomplicated TV system. Knock it on the head.
I couldn't agree more. And it is a constant source of annoyance to me how even when it's like a good brand TV, so you walk in and it'll be like Sanyo, Samsung, and yet
Matsui.
Matsui, they make trouser presses, and um, and how somehow it's bad. It's like, but this is a good brand. The picture quality is awful. Like I say, nothing really quite works. There's the really annoying holding page, and I wonder if they're connected to some kind of central system. And somehow there's like one area or one internet connection for the entire hotel, so they pump out garbage quality to you. Um, I actually Googled when you started this,
Mm.
and it appears that the main companies all have a hospitality focused wing that hotels buy from. So, like it says here, Philips, Samsung, Panasonic, LG all have different models of TV that they
Yeah.
sell to hotels. I'm going to say now, Rich, my theory on this is I reckon all these big boys of tech are selling hotels their shit TVs.
Wow. What an amazing revelation this is. The thing that I would take away straight away from this is hotels don't go to this wing, all right? You're going to get better comeback from your customers if you just go down Curry's and buy a bog standard TV.
Yeah. Look, I'm a single sort. Like they are built with all these things put into them, um, so as they can do things like have certain locks on them, do yeah, all kinds of technical stuff I can't be asked to go to. Essentially, it's a mugs game for us, mate. We're being done. The hotels are being done at source.
What I do like with Mildly Informed is we are here to inform our listeners. We've just informed them about why hotel TVs are so bad. But what I would like to offer is a solution. I very much see myself as the Robin Hood of the hotel world because what I will do without fail in every hotel that I stay in is I will go to the menu of the TV and I will refresh the channels.
Well, that's good of you. So I assume
So
that wipes out some of
scan.
the
So
badness.
basically, I will scan for new channels because I'm telling you, when the maid makes up the room, there is no way that they are also making sure that the television is receiving all of the latest channels that it should. And I think that is sometimes why tellies are so crap.
Well, I'm sorry to say this, Rich. This might break your heart here, but I think the way these TVs are designed, part of the process of them is when someone checks out and a new person checks in, it completely wipes and restarts again and goes back to whatever that setting is.
Oh, so I've refreshed it for myself, but I've not given that gift to anybody else who follows me.
According to a very brief Google search, I'm afraid, mate, you're done.
Earlier on, it was pointed out that my first two reviews were 5 stars. Hotel TVs, 1 star review.
I agree. I agree. They're pants. They're absolutely pants. I did go to. Here we go. I'll give you just as a counterpoint here. I went to a hotel,
Hmm.
really nice hotel, had really nice TV, but it made me input my own Netflix password into it.
Oh, no, 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 no,
Yeah. So
no,
at the other
no,
end
no,
of the scale, not good enough either. One
no.
star.
No, not at all. No way. If I had, if I decided that I was going to enter in my own Netflix, I would have at the same time set a reminder on my phone to log out because there's no way I'm having, I'm not having all my algorithms messed up by uh, Jim from Halifax who checks in after me.
On a future episode, if there is demand, I will talk about the time my Netflix got hacked and what the people who hacked it watched. But that's for another episode.
Maybe it's for a future episode on our Patreon channel, which of course you can sign up for. If you head over to Patreon right now, you'll get an extra review. You're even more mildly informed compared to everybody else. You can find us, Mildly Informed Pod, over on Patreon, which is where we're going to head shortly. Chris, every now and then you decide whether you want to say goodbye to our regular listeners or not. Where are you standing on that this week?
All I'm going to say now, Rich, is that on Patreon right now, we are about to live officially, as promised about a month ago, in order, the top 12 months of the year.
I cannot wait. I cannot wait. We're going to rush over to Patreon right now. If you want to leave comments on anything else that you've heard on the episode so far already here, then you can. You can email us, mildlyinformedpod@gmail.com. You can leave your comments on our YouTube channel or on any of the TikToks. And you can find us on the socials, @Producer Chris, @Richie Firth. See you on Patreon. Right.
Not saying it.